Welcome to Birth to Boardroom. I'm Natalie, and today we're celebrating women who don't wait for permission, don't wait for rescue, and don't wait for someone else to save the day. Because this show is all about women who step into their power and lead with purpose. Before we begin, I want to introduce you to the incredible woman who is behind this movement, and her name is your host, Deb Kowalski. Deb has helped brands stand out, and now she's helping women do the same. As your host of Birth to Boardroom, she brings inspiring conversations with trailblazing women who turn passion into purpose. Deb has helped brands stand out, and now she's helping women to do the same. As your host of Birth to Boardroom, she brings inspiring conversations with trailblazing women who've turned passion into purpose and are changing the game from starter to success. Before we get going, I also want to introduce myself. I'm Natalie, a strategic leader who blends clarity, creativity, and courage. I've spent my career building high-performing teams, transforming experiences, and reinventing brands across global boardrooms, bringing energy and a signature Friday feeling flair. Deb, thank you for bringing me into this series. Over to you.
Wow, Natalie, that's beautiful. Thank you. I am so grateful to be here with another phenomenal woman whose story I know will move, challenge, and inspire so many of you. But before we dive in, I want to take a moment to introduce the woman who brings the show to life every single episode for me, and that's Natalie. She is a strategic marketing leader whose blend of courage, clarity, and creativity is unmatched. She's joyful, she's connected, and she is the heartbeat of this show. Natalie, thank you so much for being you.
Thank you so much. And before we get to Jamaica, let's just say this. Today's guest is a force, a woman who has taken every challenge, every injustice, every barrier, and turned it into purpose. Jamaica Wilson is a visionary leader in healthcare and a rising psychologist whose mission is rooted in healing, empowerment, and advocacy. Her message, unmuted and unapologetic, invites women everywhere to reclaim their truth, reject silence, and rise above every system that tries to hold them back. She's courageous, she's compassionate, and she is unforgettable. Please welcome Jamaica Wilson.
Hello. Oh, that introduction was amazing. I want to meet her now. Like that was great. Thank you.
Oh, Jamaica, it's such a pleasure to have you on our show. Your theme, unmuted and unapologetic, rising up, speaking out, standing tall, is powerful. So let's dive right in if we can.
So, Jamaica, you've titled your message Unmuted and Unapologetic. What was the moment or experience that made you realize it was time to stop holding back your voice? And what did that transformation look like for you?
Well, that moment came when I hit a point in my life where my achievements and my worth ethic were no longer enough to shield me from the reality that not everyone's going to treat you equally, no matter how great you are. And in the workplace, I saw how race could overshadow all of your achievements. So that realization, although it was painful, but it forced me to confront my truths and see what I didn't want to believe exists, that racism, although often denied, still continues to persist in the world that we are in today. I was with a company for 10 years, and that last year in that company was a battle. And it started off with myself and my colleague who brought me over. I did a transfer into a new store. And when I got there, they tried to tell me that I could not continue my education while I was there, with the understanding that I only came if I could continue my education. So they gave me an option. They said you can either drop all of your classes or step down. And the reason that they asked me to do so was because my counterpart, she was taking classes and our classes conflicted. So one of us has to be in the store. So they chose me, that I had to drop my classes to be there for her. And at that point, I realized we have the same job, we have the same responsibilities. And at the end of the day, if I have to drop my classes, she should have to drop her classes too. Had a file an EEOC against that company, fought it, I won. In the meantime, while I was fighting it, they did demote me all the way down the line to the bottom. Not just a step down, they took me all the way down because they were really trying to push me out because they
Yeah.
saw that I was not just going to stand for whatever they put in front of me. And
Yeah.
because of that, because they saw that I was fighting back, they really tried to push me out. So they demoted me all the way down, hoping that I would quit. I stayed in there. I had HR come down and talk to me. They pulled me aside and they're like, Jamaica, you've been with this company for 10 years and you've never had a write up. And you've been at this store for a couple of months and you have a file full of write ups. And at that point, I was like, I don't know what you're speaking of. I've never been written up ever. And HR looks at me and it's like, you've never signed a write up slip. And I tell them I have not. And it was at that point they realized what was going on themselves. My manager was, again, trying to get me out. And we had to have a sit down talk, a come to Jesus, to figure out what was fueling him to try to push me out. It was definitely race. It was 100% race. And that story actually ends up very funny because that same manager is now my sister's father-in-law. So
Oh,
that came back and bit
oh
him,
my
but
goodness. Is that
Oh boy.
is that what we call karma?
that is instant
Right?
karma, yes. And I love
Completely.
it. I absolutely love it.
Oh wow.
But
Big.
after I fought the EOC, they had to give me back my position, and that transferred me into a new store once again. And when I got to that store, I was warned, literally warned by all the ladies there, all the black women there, and they said, our manager is racist. He's going to say some things to you that you're not going to like. He's going to talk to you in ways that you're not going to like, but just smile and keep it going. Keep the peace. That's not me. That's not me.
Oh, kudos
It's
to her for giving you the heads up, though. At least.
Yes. Thankful for the heads up, but again,
But
I am unmuted and unapologetic. So
hundred
that
percent.
heads up was just that, a heads up. So one day, the manager, he did say something to me and it involved some curse words. And I remember telling him, I said, look, my own father has never cursed at me, so you are not going to be the first man to do so. And he did not like that. So he made it his mission to try to get rid of me because I was not going to just stand there and take it like everybody else in the store was. He had a cop friend who I happened to hire the cop's daughter to work with us because as a favor for my manager. And so to return the favor, he calls his friend and says, "Hey, I have somebody here. I need you to find a reason to arrest her." And he had the cop follow me. He arrested me and again had to go back to court and fight for injustice. And again, I did win. But
oh
that was
goodness.
the turning point. That is where I understood that silence was not going to protect me and that humility would not erase prejudice. That transformation began when I stopped trying to prove my worth to the systems that were never designed to see me fully. And instead, I chose to speak my truth and stand unapologetically and in my identity.
Yeah. Wow. Holy
So
cow.
not even just one moment, a catalogue of moments really that
Yeah.
leading you to that defining moment of being arrested for a crime you did not even commit and then having to fight the system to get that overturned. Oh my goodness, that's
What a
just such an extraordinary story.
really unbelievable. Well, we appreciate you sharing this story because I'm sure to this day is still raw for you, Jamaica.
Oh, yes. I've just never been arrested before. So just the experience within itself. I was on the phone with my mother because when I left and he had the cop escort me out, I was on the phone with my mom telling her what happened. And she told me, she was like, calm down, pull over, don't drive. You're going to get in an accident. So I pulled over. And when I pulled over, the cop followed me and arrested me when I got out my car. And my mom heard everything. She heard me screaming and she beat me there. She beat me to the station before I was even there. My mom was there waiting for me, waiting for them to bring me in. And it was traumatizing to say the
I
least.
can I can't even imagine that. Goodness. So let me ask you something, Jamaica. Thank you so much for sharing with us openly about facing racism in the workplace. Can you share how that experience shaped who you are today, both personally and professionally? And what healing or empowerment came out of it, would you
Well,
say?
experience trauma in the workplace was something that deeply affected me both professionally and personally. And I mean, at the time, it was overwhelming. But what stands out the most is that it forced me to reevaluate my boundaries and my sense of worth. And leaving that environment was not just about survival, it was more about reclaiming my power. So, personally, the experience taught me resilience and the importance of prioritizing my mental health and my emotional health. And professionally, it shifted the way that I approach opportunities. So I became more intentional about who I work with. And I chose to build a career where I could protect myself from repeating those dynamics. And with those challenges, they still exist, even in the industry that I'm in now. But the empowerment comes from knowing that I have a choice to walk away from the spaces that don't respect me now. The healing process is ongoing, and it has given me strength and it's given me clarity and a voice that I didn't always feel like I had before. And that's what shaped who I am today.
It amazes me too that you have no bitterness. You have such a great attitude about it. Considering what you've been through, you have it's incredible, isn't it, Natalie?
Absolutely. I mean, you, the story that you tell, and I know you've given us a real condensed version of everything that happened, but you've shown such dignity in sharing it, and there's not an ounce of bitterness, which is, I applaud that.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. So we talked a little bit, Jamaica, about how you told Natalie and I in our interview with you that you don't carry a white man chip on your shoulder, which is such a powerful perspective. How do you maintain that balance, standing firm against injustice while staying open and solution driven?
Well, for me, the not carrying a white man chip on my shoulder just means that I refuse to let bitterness define my path. Because being angry is easy. That's the easy way out. Somebody does something to you, yeah, get mad. That's easy. But taking those moments and deciding what you want to be and the work that, you're going to do to get to that place. Now, that's what it takes to actually rise up from that moment. And I faced injustice and I stand firm against it, but I won't let it consume me. Instead, I focus on solutions, on building spaces where respect and equality are non-negotiables. And this balance, it comes from knowing my worth, it comes from setting my boundaries. And when I encounter racism or bias, I address it directly. But I also ask myself, how can I turn this opportunity? Sorry, my dog is.
I can hear. Is
Louie,
it?
are you
Is it a boy or a girl dog?
It's a boy. His name's Louis Vuitton. Louis, are you okay?
Louis Vuitton.
Bring
Louis,
Louie up here,
Come here,
Jamaica. Let's
Louis.
see Louie.
Come here. Come here, baby.
Louie
You okay?
Louis is
Come
giving you so much support. I love it.
Come here.
I love it.
he sounds like a pug. Is he a pug?
No, he's a Yorkie. I don't know what's.
Oh,
Come here, baby.
And he's now really shy. He's
I
like,
know.
I'm,
Before he
I'm
would,
gonna make
would
I'm
have
gonna
to
make
be.
all this noise, but I am not coming on camera. No, 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 no.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, what is happening? Come here, babes.
I was hearing this noise and I'm like, what
I'm like,
is that?
what's happening? Say hi.
Oh,
Say hi,
Louis.
babes.
So,
Say hi.
hello. We love having pets on this show, don't we, Deb?
We do. We can't see him though. Put him up to the
Okay.
camera.
Say,
Let's see Louis.
say hi. Oh,
We love having pets.
oh, he ran away. He's being
Oh,
Oh,
shy.
he's off. He's off. His
hi.
next chapter.
He's so shy.
You
Um,
messed up the interview and then you run away.
Oh, so cute. Well, this is a perfect segue for us, Jamaica. We're going to go into mid-show at this point. Take a little breather. Natalie, I'm going to send it over to you.
okay, everyone, let's take a moment together. We're at the halfway point, so whatever you are right now, pause. Take a breath in. And remember, you have the power to create change, to influence the world around you, and to lead with humility, empathy, and intention. This is your reminder to straighten that crown, girlfriend, because you've absolutely got this. Feeling a little more grounded, a little more lifted? Good, because we've only just got started. Back to you, Deb.
I want to talk about you. Let's talk about women supporting women and empowerment, Jamaica. Your dream of opening a women-owned clinic dedicated to mental health is so inspiring. Why is it so important to you that your team, from therapists to your pharmacist sister, are all women? And what do you believe women bring uniquely to this space? Your story about your business is so inspiring.
Well, for me, building a woman's own clinic is more than representation. It's more, about creating a space that's rooted in empathy and collaboration and just lived experiences. And having an all women's team, like from the therapist to the pharmacist, which is going to be my sister, is important because women often bring a unique blend of compassion and resilience to work and healing. And in mental health, patients need to feel seen and they need to feel safe. And women tend to approach care differently and listen a little more deeply and help to validate those experiences that are sometimes overlooked. So professionally, I've seen how women foster environments that are nurturing and are strong, and we can build an environment where boundaries are respected, but vulnerability is also welcomed.
So cool. We got to back out for just a minute. But before the clinic development, you're in school right now in the doctoral program. Is that right?
That is correct. I am getting my doctorate in clinical psychology. It was long overdue, we'll say that. I got my bachelor in psychology. Then I also got a degree in accounting, a bachelor in accounting, along with my psychology degree, because I knew ultimately end goal was always going to be to open up a clinic. So, need to
Mhm.
know how to look at the books when doing
Mhm.
so. I dual majored there. And then I took a break, just started, doing other things in life. And my career path led me in other directions. And my sister, she's 8 years younger than me, but after 8 years, she got her degree in pharmacy. And she came to me and she said, you told me that once I got my doctorate degree in the pharmacy school that we would open up a clinic together. And I was like, you're right. I did. And so at that point, I was like, I got to get back to what I said I was going to do. So went back, I got my master's degree in 6 months and
That's impressive.
6 months?
6 months. It was a 2.5 year program. I remember telling my counselor, I was like, so what is the quickest I could finish this? And she's like, technically 6 months, but let's focus on
Wow.
2 years. And I said, okay, we'll see. And I did
Good.
it. And I did it.
That's
You,
impressive.
you don't wait around. That
Yes.
is like incredible. Deb, you okay if I jump in with a question?
Of
You may.
course.
Okay, so my question is in relation to breaking generational barriers.
Mhm.
So many women of color face not only gender bias but cultural and systemic barriers. What message do you have for young women who are navigating those same walls, especially those who may feel silenced or unseen?
Good question.
It's a big question, right?
Big question. And
Yeah.
I would say to young women of color that are navigating those walls, your voice is not a liability, it is your power. The
Yeah.
world may try to convince you that excellent alone will erase bias, but the truth is that cultural and systematic barriers, they still exist, and they can make you feel unseen no matter how hard you work.
Mm.
But don't mistake those barriers as a reflection of your worth. The transformation is going to begin when you stop waiting for permission to be heard and just claim your space, even if your voice shakes. Just still speak out. Surround yourself with people who affirm your brilliance, and remember that silence only serves the systems that benefit from it.
Powerful stuff. And
Yeah.
breaking through and using your voice with all its power is just a tremendous message.
Very much so. Wow. So, as you pursue your doctorate in psychology, Jamaica, how do you see mental health intersecting with identity, race, and the pressures women face in professional spaces?
Well, I see mental health as it really is deeply intertwined with identity and race and just the unique pressures that women face in professional spaces. And it's not experienced in isolation. It's shaped by the environments that we move through and the identities that we carry. So for women of color, intersection of race and gender often means navigating bias and microaggressions and the inequalities that can hurt your confidence and increase stress and contribute to different feelings of invisibility. Like you, sometimes you feel invisible out here, and the psychological toll of constantly proving yourself, of being both invisible and unseen, is profound. So identity becomes a source for both strength and strain. It gives you both sides of that scale, and it gives you the strength because it grounds us in the
Mhm.
community, and it gives you strain because it's often the lens through which other people impose stereotypes and limitations on us. So for me, with that intersection, supporting mental health means affirming identity, addressing racialized experiences, and just creating professional environments where women can thrive without carrying that extra weight of the biases.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Wow. Um, just, I'm processing. It's so interesting to listen to you and to talk to you. You're so knowledgeable, and what great advice for women to Jamaica to give them. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful what you're doing and the path that you're going down on the mental health side. It's wonderful. What does it mean to stand tall in your truth, even when it's uncomfortable? So, what advice would you give to women who are still learning to be unmuted in their own lives and careers?
To me, it just means refusing to shrink yourself to fit into spaces that weren't designed to fully hold you. It means, that you want to stand tall. There's no need to try to fit yourself in a box that someone else made. You are yourself. Be fearless, be courageous, and just honor your voice. Even when that room grows quiet, you speak up. You break that silence. You break the tension in the air. Women who are still learning to be unmuted, my advice to them is to start where you are. Your voice doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be polished. You don't have to be loud or powerful. It just has to be yours. So, when you have a moment, small moments, speak up. Speak up in those
Mhm,
small moments. Let those moments build into a bigger moment, and surround yourself with people who affirm your worth, and
mhm,
just remember that your voice is what defines you.
mhm. Yeah, and if you don't speak up, how is that helpful?
Exactly.
You really have to push yourself out, push yourself to speak up and voice. Otherwise, no one else is going to do it for you other than yourself. is what you're
Exactly.
saying.
And every time you speak your truth, it's going to dismantle another wall that was meant to contain you. So, with every voice, with every sentence, with every outburst, all you're doing is creating more space for yourself.
Yeah. So, Jamaica, before the show, we asking you to write a short love note to your former self. That young woman just beginning her leadership journey, what would you tell her today? And would she ever have imagined the direction her life is moving now?
All right. So,
This is
I
the tough
wrote
one.
yes. So, I wrote a letter to myself, and I'm just going to read it for you.
Perfect. We'd love to hear it.
All right. So, dear Jam, as you grow, you will find that life is your hardest teacher that you have. It makes you take the test before it teaches you the lessons. Some days the world will feel heavy, and sometimes it'll seem like the challenges ahead of you are too much to carry. You will face moments that test your spirit and have times when you wonder if you have the strength to keep going. But I promise you, every obstacle you encounter will shape you, not break you. You will also face people who judge you before they even know you, based solely from the color of your skin. People who try to silence your voice or diminish your worth. It will sting, it will anger you, but it will never define you. You will learn to confront it with dignity, to rise above ignorance with wisdom, and to turn pain into power. The prejudice will never put out the fire of your brilliance. And their attempts to hold you down will only make you rise more undeniable. You are smarter than the world knows or could even see coming. One day, you'll look back and laugh at the way people tried to treat you. They thought they could win, they thought they could break you, but you stood your ground. There will be days when you doubt yourself, when silence feels safer than speaking, but you will learn that your voice matters. You will discover your truth is powerful and that hiding it only dims the light that you were meant to shine. So hold on, keep moving forward. Trust that the strength you need is already within you and just waiting to be revealed. Because one day you will grow up to be unmuted and unapologetically you, rising up, speaking out, standing tall.
Wow. I got the goosebumps on that one. That was
Wow.
absolutely beautiful.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I think, Deb, we're just literally just going to have to just take a nanosecond to just
Yeah.
let that, um, like, oh my goodness, Jamaica, I'm going to call you Jam now because you said Dear
Yeah,
Jam.
right? Yeah.
So honestly, thank you for your courage, your truth, and your transparency. Your story is a reminder that being unmuted isn't about volume, it's about liberation.
Mhm.
You've shown us that when women speak their truth and stand in their identity and lead with purpose, we don't just rise, we transform the world around us.
Yeah. Jamaica, you're such a beautiful human.
Thank you for allowing me to share my story and just speak for those who don't have a voice and give them the opportunity to see that you can have a voice. And hopefully, this inspires somebody to speak up and stand tall and rise above whatever obstacle might be placed in front of them.
I'm blown away. And I know that we are coming towards the end of the show, and we're going to be playing another amazing song track in a moment.
I'm curious, Natalie, I got one more question for
Go,
Jamaica before
go,
we wrap.
go.
How did you feel when you wrote that, Jamaica?
Honestly, it made me reflect on everything that I've been through, everything that I've done to be where I am, and realize, despite it all, how much power that I have allowed myself to have, and how I just refuse to shrink myself or to soften my voice just to make other people feel comfortable. And would I have thought that, at a young age? No, I was a shy young girl. And
No,
so just reflecting back on this shy girl, no matter how shy I was, I still had a voice. And my courage and my voice and my authenticity will always be mine to claim. So it really had me just reflect on everything.
Beautiful. Wow.
Okay. So
Wonderful.
amazing. So we are going to close out now.
Thank you for joining us. It was wonderful having you.
An incredible conversation, a powerful reminder of what happens when women step into their voice, their influence, and their full potential. Every woman listening today carries that same strength within her. To our listeners, thank you for joining us for another episode of Birth to Boardroom. Keep rising, keep leading, and keep showing the world what's possible when women back themselves. And before you go, share this episode and invite others into our global community of empowered women. Don't forget to visit www.birthtoboardroom.com and join the movement.